Breaking news straight ahead on the Valley today. A property owner opens fire on a trespasser in North Fargo.
Plus, Governor Doug Burgum pulls the plug on some North Dakotans who have been cashing in on unemployment benefits during this COVID pandemic.
And Fargo PD's effort to get people talking without shame about mental health and its potential for deadly consequences. But first, that breaking news out of North Fargo. Police are trying to sort through what led up to a homeowner taking a shot at someone trespassing on his property.
And the Valley Today's Brian Sherrod, he joins us live from the scene with what we know so far. Good morning, Brian.
And good morning, Jordan. Lisa, what I can tell you is that Cass County deputies were called right here to the 1200 block of 49th Avenue in Fargo, and there was a large police presence all around this area. Also letting you know that this is the closest we can get, because as you can see behind me, there is private property signs all around this area, but also letting you know this is a very wooded area. The house is way back there in the corner, and the next house we see is right next to me on my left, so it just tells you how spaced out these houses were. And the call first coming in for a trespasser of a suspicious vehicle on this property, again located right behind me. This is north of the Hector International Airport. Now, deputies tried contacting the suspect, but the person took off in a car and led them on a short pursuit. The chase ended when the driver crashed into a tree. The person was taken to the hospital for minor injuries, but unsure if it came from being hit by a bullet or from crashing into a tree. No arrests have been made, but deputies say there is no ongoing threat to the public from this incident. And at this time, we are not sure the status of the homeowner, but when it comes to the shots fired, we're not sure if the shots was because the suspect tried to get inside the home, or the suspect was already on the property, physically on the property, or it could even have been a warning shot in the air. All this is unknown at this time. What I can tell you is I did reach out to Fargo PD right before I was on. No updates as of right now, but we'll continue to update you with the latest.
Brian Sherrod reporting live on this breaking story. Thank you for that update.
The state of North Dakota is making a move to kick some people off of unemployment in an effort to get them back to work. Governor Doug Burgum is ending the state's participation in federally backed COVID unemployment assistance programs. On June 19th, North Dakota will go back to its traditional model of handling unemployment assistance.
That's when the $300 weekly add-on benefit is ending. People who have exhausted their 20 weeks of benefits will no longer be eligible to have their unemployment extended by an additional 51 weeks. The governor's office says more than 8,000 people are claiming unemployment, but there are more than 16,000 job openings in the state. We've received several hundred comments since posting this story online, and you can still get in on the conversation too by checking out our Facebook page.
And the conversation this morning surely going to be about that beautiful sunrise coupled with kind of some chilly temps out there. Not too warm right now. We want to get a check of that forecast on this Tuesday morning with Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Yes, it's looking nice out there if you can just enjoy it from your window. But once you step outside, you're going to notice it's quite chilly. Here's a look around. Lots of sunshine in our camera views here. Along I-94 in Jamestown, you could see that sun shining brightly. On our DOT cam there, Wadena, we've got a nice bright sunshine as well. Fargo at the tri-level in the bottom right. Glowing there with that sun shining on the camera. Also, again, reminder that we've got that construction going on at the tri-level that's slowing folks down. And then up in Grand Forks and East Grand Forks, a beautiful blue sky looking toward the Red River there. So it's beautiful, but it's also cold. We're below freezing here across much of the valley. We're at 31 in Fargo. It's 28 in Grand Forks and 26 currently in Bemidji. That's our current low temperature right now, though we were cooler even last hour. It's 32 in Detroit Lake, so right at freezing there. And so is Wahpeton at 32 degrees. It's 33 in Devils Lake. So a cold morning. Another morning where we've got some frost in areas and some areas that we've really dropped into a freezing range or into that hard freeze range. The air has been calm overnight. It's starting to pick up a little bit. We're seeing that turnaround out of the south, and that's going to be the difference maker today. The sunshine won't be battling that northerly flow to try to warm us up. We've got a warming wind and that warm sunshine now that we're into mid-May. And clear skies. There are a couple of places with a few clouds streaming through, but overall, mostly sunny today and temperatures that'll be on the rise. So this morning, again, chilly at the bus stop right now, and even into the 8 o'clock hours, we're warming things up. We'll be into the low 40s. But by this afternoon, we'll see temperatures into that low to mid 60 degree range. range, and that's a good 5 degrees warmer than yesterday in a lot of places. And wind out of the southwest at times 5 to 15 miles per hour, a couple of gusts into the 20s, but overall starting that warming trend. And this continues overnight tonight. Look at our start temperature for Wednesday, 39 degrees in Fargo. Most of us in the mid 30s to some low 40s to start the day. So our morning lows, of course, critical for those of us who are up early and getting out the door. It's going to be a lot better. We're talking 40s to even 50 by next Monday. And of course, those afternoon highs going to be quite nice. Some low 70s and some of us into the 60s by the time we end into the end of the forecast. But it's beautiful. We'll see a couple of shots of rain. Our best bet, though, comes up on Sunday and into Monday.
Okay, we do need that moisture, so.
And we need the sunshine for our mental health, I think,
Yes, we
as
do.
well.
All of the above.
Best of both worlds, I suppose. Lisa, thank you very much. After 2 teen suicides in the local community within the past year, the Fargo Police Department is stepping up to the plate to heighten awareness. They recently debuted a short film that shares the testimonies of people dealing with the tragedy as a result of suicide.
Todd Med's son, Liam, a freshman at Davies High School, died in February after taking his own life. Todd and his family are using their grief as a way to help shed light on mental health and suicide by sharing their story in FPD's documentary.
It wasn't the mission that we just planned for our life, but it's the one that Liam gave to us when he passed away. And so doing whatever we can to help others is important to us.
The short film is available to any school in the area to share in the classroom at no cost. A link to that film is on our website, valleynewslive.com. Just click on this story.
May is now Donate Life Month in the state of North Dakota. Governor Doug Burgum made that proclamation yesterday in honor of a West Fargo man, 22-year-old Cameron Bolton, who died in a car crash in June of 2018, but has gone on to save dozens of lives through organ donation. His family helped break ground for what's called the Garden of Healing in South Fargo. It's a place they hope will bring closure and peace to other families of organ donors and recipients, as well as anyone affected by the loss of a loved one.
Cameron's family says they hope to have phase 1 of the garden done by the end of August. It is National Police Week, and the names of fallen officers honored this year have now been added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington. This includes Grand Forks police officer Cody Holte, who was shot and killed last May.
He was serving an eviction notice when the suspect came out of a bedroom and started shooting. Holte has been honored with the Purple Heart, Medal of Honor, and Meritorious Service Award. Fargo fire crews are looking for the cause of a fire at an abandoned house on the city's south side.
It happened at 1420 2nd Avenue South in Fargo around 4 yesterday afternoon. No one was inside at the time, but the building did have some damage. Wahpeton public school officials say a 5th grade classroom activity was meant to be a teachable moment about George Floyd's death, but it wasn't handled properly.
We were first alerted last Tuesday by one of our viewers who said students were made to reenact the arrest and death of Floyd. Elementary principal Jake Dodge says their investigation confirms what many of the students said and what a concerned community member was alleging. The 5th grade teacher, Barb Michelson, and her students were discussing what happened to George Floyd.
Students did have their hands behind their back. They were on the floor, and it was being used as a teachable moment of how wrong this is, and we don't want to put anybody in that position.
The principal says students stood up to check their pulses so they could see the impact of being in such a position. The district superintendent described Barb Michelson as a well-respected teacher in the district. He says as an educator, sometimes you get caught up in the moment, and when kids ask questions, you do your best to talk them through it.
Michelson has been on administrative leave during a school investigation, and district officials are not updating the status of her leave right now. You can watch the full news conference on our website, valleynewslive.com.
Minnesota state government will get $200 million more than it was expecting under President Joe Biden's coronavirus relief package. That will make it a total of $2.8 billion. Governor Tim Walz hopes new guidelines over how states can spend that aid will speed up the slow pace of negotiations over the state's next budget.
The legislative session is due to adjourn next Monday, but the governor and leaders of the divided legislature have yet to agree on budget targets. The FDA is expanding its emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine to children as young as 12. But doctors say it may take weeks for shots to go into arms.
Medical experts believe the 12 to 15-year-old age group will be eligible for the vaccines this summer, but kids younger than that might not be eligible until next year. Doctors and researchers have already seen some differences in various age groups of adults, saying the worst side effects have been in people in their 20s and 30s, while people 60 and older aren't as affected.
In our consumer alert this morning, another hiccup in the supply chain could lead to more shortages. Truck drivers are in short supply. Nearly 3/4 of all goods in the U.S. are moved by truck, but the companies employing those drivers can only fill 1 in 10 open jobs.
Centerline State of Trucking 2021 report found employers' top worry is finding the drivers to drive. Employers are increasingly looking at new ways to get people into the industry and into the trucks, including pay increases, modified hiring, and bonuses and incentives.
Let's get our answer now to our question of the morning on Facebook. Today's question: 15% of moms say they still do this for their adult children.
The answer is their laundry. Got to make sure they smell good, I guess. Remember, you can play along every day.
Mom knows how to do it right.
The Today Show and CBS This Morning are just about to start. The Valley Today rolls on. Join us on the Fargo CW.